Here's Johnny.
Hi, this is Ramos Reviews, the channel where I quickly express my thoughts and opinions about all types of movies. Today I'll be looking at 1980's The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick. I'm currently binge watching many horror movies. Right now I'm watching the Freddy and Jason movies. I'm not going to review all of them, but rank them instead, so that I can basically give quick reviews on the Saw movies and the franchise as a whole. Though before that connected franchise, I wanted to watch a movie that came out 2 weeks after Friday the 13th. A horror movie directed by Stanley Kubrick. Kubrick directed and released 13 films over his lifetime, 12 of which I haven't seen. However, The Shining was a great introduction to his filmography. The Shining is widely known as a horror and overall cinema masterpiece, and I completely agree. Watching this movie is a whole entire viewing experience that everyone should one day see. Once again, I don't have a clear rating system, but I do base my ratings on things like how well it's made, like the special effects, directing, acting, how good it's written, like the story, characters, and creativity, and how entertaining I found the movie to be overall. If you agree with me, that's great, and if you don't, that's fine. Everyone is open to opinion, and this is just mine. Now let's get to the breakdown. The Shining is about a father named Jack Torrance who takes a job to caretake the Overlook Hotel while it's vacant during the entirety of winter. Due to the length of time that Jack would be alone, he also takes his family with him. His wife Wendy and son Danny. At first, the hotel is what you expect from an empty hotel. It's very quiet and nothing's really happening. However, the more time that passes, the more the family begins to witness paranormal activities while Jack constantly starts losing his mind and talking to ghosts. Throughout this movie, I only found 2 issues with it, and luckily they are so minor that it doesn't even matter. The first one is the way Kubrick sometimes cuts from scene to scene. I don't know if quick cuts to text or Kubrick's thing, but I didn't really like it considering the text wasn't even consistent. It probably annoyed me so much because of my minor OCD. The second issue is that Jack randomly limps during the final act. It was due to the Jack Nicholson injury before shooting, but since it was something out of their hand and someone makes him scarier, I can't really hate it. Although it did take away from the film's immersion since they never really gave a reason as to why he's limping. As I said, they were minor problems, especially when you put them against the many huge pros of this movie. For starters, it's great from the get-go. The first shot is a beautiful scenery that, mixed with the iconic score, manages to give us a great sense of what type of movie and overall experience we're in for. The premise and the backstory of the hotel are realistic and give us an indication of the supernatural elements that are bound to come. Another amazing thing about this movie is all the actors portray the characters perfectly. Seeing how much of a discreetly abusive person Jack Torrance is, after seeing how nice he acted in this interview, makes you truly care for Wendy and Danny. Wendy Torrance is played by Shelley Duvall in a performance that somehow nominated her for a Razzie Award. Considering the amount of vocal abuse she endured from Stanley Kubrick makes his nomination so awful and just wrong.
There's no desperation. Oh, come on. What do you mean roll
2
video?
seconds.
We're killing ourselves out here and you're going to be ready.
I am too. I'm standing
So we
right
play
by
mood
the
music?
door. No, I can't
Yeah, but when you
hear.
came in like this, you said just...
We're sitting there because they say, wait a minute, and then you say on the radio,
but when you
go.
do it, you've got to look desperate, Shelley. You're just wasting everybody's time there.
I can't even get
Well,
this
bring it
door
against
open.
Kubrick is known to be a perfectionist and constantly berated Shelley Duvall with insults because she wouldn't act the exact way that he wanted. To just hear that she was nominated for bad acting when she kind of wasn't is just so tragic to hear.
Look at this. Pulled all my hair. I pulled hunks of hair out on the windowsill. And the back got caught.
Need to trim that.
Hunks of hair.
Oh, look.
Okay. Well, I don't sympathize with Shelley.
You don't sympathize with Shelley. Why not?
It doesn't help you, wouldn't it?
Yes, it does. It does.
She perfectly played a worried, scared, and caring mother who tries her best to do what's best for her son, Danny. Danny Torrance is played by Danny Lloyd, and Danny is a young kid who starts to experience paranormal activities around the hotel while having to deal with a creepy, supernatural version of bipolar disorder.
Tony, why don't you want to go to the hotel? I don't know. You do too know. Now come on, tell me. Don't want to.
Usually kid actors are supposed to play normal kids, but in The Shining many times Danny goes from being normal to having some weird, natural, and almost demonic voice. These 3 people are the main characters and they're well written and acted characters, truly succeeding in having characters to root and care for. Wendy and Danny are so scared, likable protagonists, while Jack is a growingly insane and threatening antagonist. The way we watch Jack slowly lose his mind makes him genuinely scary, even without the weapon he gets and the truly frightening performance in the final act. Though before we get to the final act, we are introduced to many side characters that are all so memorable. Dick Hallorann, for one, is an amazing person to watch. His selfless nature successfully gives us a character that we can actually care for besides the three main characters. He's a nice, caring person to everyone, and although Danny's a kid, he doesn't shy away from warning him and helping him understand the questions that he has about himself. Also, since this is a horror movie, there has to be some scary supernatural elements going on. Luckily, there are many other side characters and moments that are supernatural. Two side characters we meet are of course the Byrne sisters. Their very little dialogue mixed with their identical movements are topped off with their unnerving and calm speaking. Plus, they're young twins with blank expressions that constantly stare at you, so when is it not creepy? We also get Lloyd, the spirit that can be seen as the reason that Jack went insane. Blended with all the paranormal things we see in this hotel, it helps give an uncomfortable feeling to anyone watching, as if you were actually there in the Overlook Hotel with them. Whether it be for the caring personality, unusual behavior, or creepy presence, everyone is memorable and with a purpose. Yet to me, although they are all great and the actors played them perfectly, they aren't what makes this movie so great to me. For the most part, I love movies because of their unique screenplays, great cinematography, and good performances. And I do think Jack Nicholson's performance is the best one of this film, but not to take anything away from him, to me the huge carry of this film is Kubrick's direction, and Wendy Carlos's and Rachel Elking's composing. Not to mention the chilling sound design by this dude. I'm not even gonna try to butcher his name. They are all mixed perfectly, truly giving me chills and making me feel uncomfortable. No hate to any actor involved in this film, but as a person who loves unique visuals and tonally well done shots, the reason why I love this movie so much is the many scary scenes in this movie that are purely due to the creepy shots and use of the camera. Also, every scene is entertaining and feels like they're important to the movie. The final act especially. The entire thing is completely amazing. Danny and Wendy constantly make smart decisions to escape from Jack, and the ending is a satisfying yet disturbing one. After Wendy and Danny escape, we get an abrupt shot that one could describe as a chilling visual. The movie ends with a shot that gives us a greater backstory to the already frightening hotel and spirits. With all the praise I've given this movie, you probably already figured out the rating for it, but just to be sure, let me tell you what it is. The Shining is a perfectly acted, well-written, visually stunning, and vocally chilling cinematic masterpiece. Once again, watching this movie is something that I see as more of an experience rather than a typical movie watch, which is why I believe it's definitely deserving of my first 10 out of 10 in this channel, with a recommendation to watch if you enjoyed movies like Shutter Island, It Chapter 2, or The Invisible Man. Thank you for watching this Ramos review on Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. If you want me to review a movie, horror or not, feel free to comment down below, and if you enjoyed the review, please leave a like and subscribe. I would thoroughly appreciate it, and I'll talk to you in my next review.